Hey guys, how's it going?
What's up?
We're back. Bass Now Radio, presented by Sunrise Bassin.
Yes, with me and you.
I'm Andrew.
I'm Lewis, and we're here.
I'm me. That's you.
That's right.
That's right.
How y'all doing tonight? Or tonight, morning? What?
I'm not gonna lie. I thought you were gonna ask me how I was doing.
How are you
and
doing?
Then you just disappointed me
How are
by
you
asking
doing?
the audience how they were doing.
How are you doing tonight?
I'm okay.
Well, just okay.
Just busy, man.
You need to go fishing?
I haven't been fishing a long time.
Yeah.
Thanks to the weather at Seminole.
Yeah.
And my
I think it's a lot less
choice
to do with that.
not fixing my boat in a sooner period of time.
Yeah, I think it's a lot more to do with that.
That's proper English.
That's good.
And it's tough, man, when you get that. I literally talked about fishing for an hour and a half on my car ride to West Virginia with Marshall the other day because he hasn't been fishing, and about the same amount of time that I haven't been fishing. And we're both just really struggling. It's really hard off the bandwagon.
Maybe you should go fishing.
Maybe I will.
All right. It's settled.
I just got to pick a weekday, I guess, and
It's
go.
settled. Yeah, that's exactly what you got to do.
I'm busy on the weekends.
Yeah, do that. That's what I do.
Well, our spring break is coming up here in like 3 weeks. And
Yes.
I got nothing going on before the Classic, so I'll probably be fishing
There you go.
every day.
Norman's on fire.
I was thinking Hartsville, do a little pre-practice.
Ooh.
Not that it's going to be useful, but
No.
still.
Go to Norman. It's fun.
So I've heard. Do you want to?
Norman's on fire.
You want
people.
to tell the people how you got beat this week on Norman?
So basically, college bass needs to come back to Lake Norman.
Yeah. Well, they just picked a bad year because now this year it's good.
It's really good.
Last year bad.
Now,
this
a
year,
cold
good.
front will probably hit and make it bad just like it did last year. But last year we got hit with a bad cold front and it sucked.
Yes,
But
it did.
right now, it's excellent. Norman is on fire. I can affirmatively say that. Not only based off my experience, results, everyone's catching, like all the bigger tournaments are taking 19, 20 to win. Norman's banging right now. Good times.
She catching.
Good times. Good times. But I got my ass beat by our good buddies Trip and Sam. Shout out to them.
Out of a John boat.
Out of their John boat.
Sorry, I like
Waxed
to add that.
my ass.
Just had to add that, you know.
Caught themselves a big old largemouth.
Although I'm not gonna lie, I think Trip's John boat might go faster than your Ranger.
All right. That's not nice.
I'm just saying.
That's not nice.
There's probably a replay somewhere of Trip and Sam going by the same way that
Actually, the opposite.
what's his name?
I didn't want to say nothing.
St. Lawrence.
But the opposite did happen.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. It's the only time it'll ever happen, so I'll say something about it.
No, we passed like 2 boats.
We did at Seminole, yeah.
They were both aluminum boats.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. It's like I have like the slowest glass boat in the college series, but that's okay.
Absolutely. 100%
I'm all right with it.
I used to say it was
we had a little club tournament.
I used to say it was our terrific buddy Amron Strigo's Skeeter.
Oh God, yeah.
But he sold that.
Yeah, Gonzo.
I think you probably could have passed that.
I think I definitely could have passed that.
Yeah. So.
But yeah, we had a little club tournament. I got beat. Came in second.
Stuff.
But I still had a good time. Caught him.
That's good.
Caught him really good.
That's the important lesson is that you have a good time, catch some fish.
Yeah.
You lose all the money you put into it, but that's
right.
okay because
That's
you had
right.
a good time.
That's right.
And that's what, by the way, I already told you about this meme. I'm going to tell you about it again. It was a fishing TikTok of this guy with all this tackle laid out in the front of his really nice Skeeter bass boat. And someone commented below and it was like $10,000 in tackle and rods and reels and $80,000 boat, $500 insurance, $75 entry fee. All for like a $500 payout.
That's right.
That's bass fishing.
That's right. It's for the love of the game, baby, not about the money.
For the love of it, not about the money.
That's right.
It's about the chase, catching M5.
That's right.
Or if you're an MLF fan, catching hundreds of them.
We don't care about those people.
I've been told I need to care more about them. So
we have a change coming.
Apparently, I'm our new MLF guy.
You're not. That's not the change.
Oh, what's coming?
You were the MLF guy.
Who's the MLF guy
you're
now?
Getting sat down.
Wait.
The people have spoken.
The people have spoken, and we're putting in a new MLF guy.
We have to bribe him with something. but I think our good buddy Trevor might be willing to come on and be the MLF guy for our podcast.
I don't know. I don't think we can pay him enough.
I don't know if we can either.
Because you can't pay me enough, and I'm getting
But
paid
we're
nothing.
shouting him out live right now, so he might just have
Trevor, do you want to be our MLF guy?
He doesn't, but we're going to make him.
We'd be happy to have you on every week
Yes.
to talk about
He's well informed.
MLF.
Sometimes.
Yeah, I'm not well informed.
He's more
As you saw
informed.
last week, have no information to give.
He's a better source of information.
I
than-
never
than
checked the
both
like
of
count
us.
on that video. Can you bring up the video?
The what? Oh.
We got to see if we're doing a live stream.
Oh, that's a great.
You're going to find out here, folks.
So,
Although I still might do it. Even
so
if we-
for
even
those
if we
who
did
haven't
get it.
listened to the last podcast, what was it? Do we say 10 likes?
I think it was 10 likes. Yeah.
10 likes. If we got 10 likes on our last podcast, we were going to do a live stream.
A live stream of us watching
watching MLF Live.
with our good buddy Tyler Law.
Yeah, which would include a lot of me roasting it. We have 3 likes.
Ah,
All right. So
Wow.
if you guys want to see me and Andrew and Tyler roast, probably at least roast MLF, you got to go ahead and like the Bass Now Radio episode 28 from last week.
get us to 10. We're doing it.
10 likes and we're going to do it. It
Absolutely.
might ruin us from a PR standpoint.
But it'll be funny.
It'll be pretty funny.
It'll be funny. It'll be a good time.
It'll be a good video. We might do it anyways.
There'll be like 30 people out in the world that will really enjoy it and get on board with it.
I think there'll be like a couple thousand.
that would get on board with it and really
Without
enjoy
a
it.
doubt. It's just got to get to those people. So I think we might just do it. I might just say, let's do it. We'll see. But yeah, so on that topic,
On that topic,
we don't have a ton of tournament stuff to talk about this week. Next week,
Next week's
2
different.
big college tournaments coming up.
2.
Yep, which shouldn't happen, but
I'll have
is.
on a special guest because I'll
be
not
gone.
fishing and he'll be gone.
So we'll have 2 big giant college tournaments. We'll talk that. Well, you guys will. I might call in.
We might have you on.
but
I don't know.
there'll
We'll
be-
see. I don't know if we want you on.
That's fair.
If you're not catching them, I don't want you on.
I probably won't be.
Well, that's tough.
So next episode will be all about those 2 big college tournaments, which will be really exciting. There isn't a lot of pro stuff. So what's your idea for our talk this? What are we talking about in this pod?
I wanted to talk about what makes a good bass fisherman.
Yeah. We couldn't really figure out how to word it.
Yeah.
What makes a good bass fisherman good? What makes a pro a pro?
What makes a pro a pro? Why is a pro bass fisherman?
But that doesn't really apply because there's some really great college guys that are really good. Why are they
Yeah,
great?
but they could end up in the pros.
Right,
So I don't-
exactly. There's great high school guys,
can't-
and there's great guys in
Why can't
bass clubs.
Joe Schmo, the weekend fisherman, go out and fish the Bassmaster Elite Series?
Right.
If he had the money, why wouldn't he be able to?
Right.
And why wouldn't he be successful?
Right. Because there's a lot of people out there who say you can buy your way in, which is not true.
I don't think it's true at all.
And there's also a lot of people who are, and Ike Anelli said this before, he knows guys in his club who he claims to be better fishermen than him. Just different, priorities, I guess. So there's a lot of guys out there.
There's a lot that goes into it. It's not just the fishing component and the money component.
Right.
There's other things. You're definitely going to love it to do it.
Right. There's a lot of guys that are really good that aren't pros that could be pros. And so I guess we'll dive into a little bit of why
we
think that.
Why we think the pros are pros.
Yeah.
I'm going to start right off the bat.
Yeah, you
It's
go
a
ahead.
good
Let me hear
right off
some of
the
your
bat.
ideas.
One, they can adapt to changes in lake conditions and weather conditions
Yeah.
better than anyone else. And it's based purely off of the amount of practice they get and the amount of time spent on the water.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. By practice, I mean time on the water.
Time on the water.
Yeah.
Knowing
They've seen
fishing
it.
so long and all the time. They've seen so many different combinations of weather and water conditions that they can be like, I need to be throwing this at this place.
Right.
And it's a matter of just finding where that place is on the lake.
Right. And there's also, there's so much. That's a good point. There's so many different changes. It's week to week, day to day. hour to hour. I've seen it in 15-minute spurts where different things happen.
Yeah.
And you got to know how to adapt and how to take signs from the fish.
I mean, we saw it on Hartwell when we were there in October. I mean, just the amount of the clouds
Overnight.
coming in and out.
Yeah.
Like the fishing was literally changing based on what the clouds and wind were doing.
Yeah, exactly.
So-
It's amazing how crazy it can change from 1 minute to the next. I actually remember that practice when we were down there. I remember it pretty specifically where it was like opposite, where when it was, I mean, I guess this is normal down there. It was kind of new to me. Whereas where it's bright and sunny with no wind, they were schooling really, really well. And they were on, like, they were biting top water, moving baits and all that. And then when it was cloudy, the drop shot deep bite got better.
Yeah.
It was kind of like opposite to, I guess, what you're typically told. I don't know. Maybe that's just a schooling fish thing, but
Or maybe it's just a Hartwell thing.
Yeah.
I don't know.
yeah,
But yeah, I mean, that's a big part of
that's a good point.
why pros are as successful as they are, is that they see things that the normal fisherman doesn't.
Yeah.
So
I think there's a million different ways to answer this question. I mean, I think there's a fair share of pros that, even though I just said, I mean, you have to have some substance and you have to be pretty good. I think there's a lot of guys, not a lot. There's a very small handful of guys that are pros because they're incredible ambassadors to the sport. Sure, they can catch them. They're not going to win every tournament, but they're great ambassadors to the sport and do a really good job of marketing themselves and marketing the sport, and it lands them professional tournament entries. That's kind of besides the point.
I would say that
we're talking about what makes a good fisherman good.
I would say that marketing yourself is definitely a big part of being a pro.
Right.
And I will
But it's not a big part of being good.
I will lump it in with the being a pro. If we're talking about why is a pro a pro,
Right.
then they're good at marketing. They
Yes.
understand how to work sponsorships.
How the business works.
Yeah, they get it.
Yeah. But that's not
I was gonna
the
say-
original question.
I was gonna say another thing that makes a pro a pro. Once again, we'll stray from the original question a little bit.
Sure.
What makes a pro a pro is that they have the drive for the long hours and the crazy schedules.
Yeah.
And, I mean, you can't put a dang bass boat on a plane and fly somewhere.
No. You're driving.
You're driving.
You're putting in
Unless you're
14-hour
like
days.
maybe like 3 guys that have drivers.
Yeah.
You're driving yourself.
Right.
That's just, it's a lot of time on the road. It's a lot of time away.
Away from family, away from home.
Practice is grueling. You know, you're up 6 a.m. to 7, 6, whenever the sun sets.
Yeah.
In the sun every day or in the weather every day.
Yeah.
And you gotta love what you're doing to do that every day.
There's a lot of people that can't do that.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like I love it more as much as anybody, and there's been 2-week stretches in my life where I've gone lake to lake from long day to long day, and like after those 2 weeks, and you just want to lay down. Like it can get.
But you'll lay down for a day,
Right.
And I know this because I've done this, where I've had a day where I'm like, all right, I'm done.
Right.
You lay down for a day,
And
and you
you
get
wanna
up the
go.
next day, and you're like, all right, where are we going next?
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that's part
You gotta have
of that
crazy
drive thing, you know?
Yeah, you got to have a crazy drive. That's a good point as well. And then I think they're like, I always say this to people, and there's obviously more than 2, but my thing is with great good bassmen, whatever. There's 2 basic schools of thought, like I mean, this is as general as it gets. I think generally there's a big group of guys that are super duper technical, that get into every little aspect, that think about every little change in the weather, watercolor, bait color, wind direction,
Yeah.
side
They
of the
approach it more
bank.
scientifically.
Yes, exactly. And then I think there's your other side, which is straight instinct, fly by the seat of your pants, go, trust your gut, whatever, and do a lot less thinking about the technical things. And I'm sure there's a mix between that. There is a mix between that. But I think there's pretty much most anglers would categorize themselves into one of those buckets, I feel. I could be wrong about that. Because I mean, like personally, I would put myself into the gut side of things. But I also know like myself, and I know that if I put on, I don't know, if I look at the water and I'm like, oh, I think green pumpkin red would work really well here, and I tie on a green pumpkin red, put it in the water, and if I don't love it, I'm pulling it out and put it on green pumpkin purple. Like I can be really weird about that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I do it all off of gut. There's no reason why I say, oh, green pumpkin red's better here. It's just the way I feel. I don't know how to describe it. Whereas I know that a lot of people, and like for pros, I'd put like Aaron Martins, I'd say, is one of those really technical guys. And Jordan Lee is one of those guys that just wakes up and goes. Doesn't think about as much.
Yeah, like the you follow thing.
Exactly.
MLF.
Exactly.
Oh, we run the spot. I haven't been to in 8 years to see what happens.
Yeah. Sometimes, I mean, there's those two different groups, I think. And then there's the other, there's another, I guess there's a third group. There's the guys that have one thing they love to do and do that everywhere. And that's what they excel at. And if a tournament winds up to where it lines up good for what they love to do, they're going to win it.
They're going to win, yeah.
You know? So.
Yeah, I think of like ish.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a really good point. Frogging and flipping.
Frogging and flipping.
If it lines up right, he finds the fish, he's going to win.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then there's also like, there's guys who are really good at cashing checks and doing well in every tournament they fish.
Yeah.
But don't win a lot. And then there's guys that win a lot more, but have more bombs. And then there's that very select few that do both.
Yeah.
And those are the guys that are the top of the sport. But I don't know. I feel like there's different groups of guys. I don't know. But I guess that's kind of straying away again from what does it take to be there. What else you got for that?
I mean, I think it all just goes back to the time on the water.
Yeah, I think it does too.
And I think that there are people out there that might have the time but don't have the drive, and I think there are people out there that have the drive and don't have the time, and I think you need to kind of get lucky and have an opportunity to that both line up perfectly.
Yeah.
I certainly think there are probably guys out there that, once again, like I said, that are good, might be better, but they just don't have the time, don't have the money,
or drive,
or the drive.
Yeah,
I think the drive's a big part of it.
I think that's almost a bigger part, because I feel like if you really have that drive that a lot of these pros do, you'll do anything.
You're gonna find a way to do it.
You'll do anything to do it. I mean, it's bottom line. It's like you can compare it to any other sport or profession, whereas the guy who's going to make it to the top might not be, basketball, or baseball, whatever, might be the strongest or tallest or fastest guy. But if he's willing to work harder than anybody else, he's going to get there.
Yeah.
And by work harder than anybody else, I mean work harder than anybody else. Like not work hard. You got to put your hours in. And fishing's the same way.
Push themselves.
It's the same way.
You gotta really love what you're doing to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that might actually be the biggest part of doing
think so.
Drive.
Look at that. We've come
in this talk.
We've answered
to a conclusion. Look at this. I mean, I would agree. I mean,
right?
I think that's like that for every sport, honestly. If you want to excel, and at anything, not even just sports. If you want to excel, you got to have the drive to want to excel.
Yeah,
and to get better, and put in the research, do the lake research,
right?
Learn techniques, like practice techniques.
If you got the money and your boat's ready to go, and it's Friday night, and you're out with your buddies, and your alarm goes off at 5:00 Saturday morning, what are you doing? That's the answer.
Yeah.
If you not for a tournament, just to go.
Yeah.
To go and spend a day on the water. If you're willing to wake up and go, and you're okay with it, and you're not regretting it, and that's the kind of thing that you need to have.
Yeah.
You need to be willing to do that kind of stuff. Not sitting around and waiting until 9:00. Not going because it's rainy or cold. And we've all been victims of that. I'm guilty of that.
We've still fished some very miserable.
Don't worry.
Miserable days.
Right.
I've had at least 4 days on Norman that I can think of where the guides have been icing up.
Oh, yeah. It did that on Saturday.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's not fun.
No.
But you still go do it. And you're like, I'm going to catch one today.
Funny.
You watch. It's going to happen.
Oh, we caught a bunch. It was fun.
Yeah.
It was just cold.
It was just cold.
Yeah. But
So,
I think I do think that's the biggest thing. We kind of got down to the bottom of it there, where you got to have the drive.
Yeah.
That's what I think all those pros have in common. I mean, I'm sure I believe that there's naturally gifted guys that don't have to put in that kind of a time.
yeah.
That are gifted.
They're somehow like, oh, that's the spot.
Right. Like, I think
like,
that
how do you
a guy
know
like
that?
a guy like Brian Thrift, I'm sure he puts in the time just like anybody else. But I feel like if he didn't, he might not be as good, but
He's still going to
be catching shit out of him.
Yeah, I'll just go fish either some boulder thing
Just
in the middle
pull
of
up.
nowhere or a dock or
That
a
guy
boat
would
ramp.
still be catching them. So there's your gifted guys, but I think the majority of guys that really want to be great and really want to do well, you just got to put in the hours. That's all it is. When nobody's looking, when you're not catching them, that's all it is.
Yeah.
It's like anything else.
I think we've come to an agreement on that.
Yeah.
That point.
Yeah. It's pretty solid.
It's good. We usually don't.
That wasn't
usually,
planned.
That was not planned at
came
all.
down
We
to
came
that.
to that all by ourselves.
That's right. That's right.
No pre-playing, no script, nothing.
No.
That's just pure natural from the
Beautiful.
heart right there.
Lovely.
So on to our next talk.
What's our next
What's
topic?
going on?
What's going on? Not much.
Not much.
Not
this
much.
week there's one tournament that finished up.
Yeah, well, last week we had,
And
this week
one
that finished
tournament
up.
that's going to be fished.
Yeah, the St. John's River was last weekend.
For the FLW Toyota Series.
Correct. Otherwise known as Costa, otherwise known as Rayovac, and there's a million other. Shout out Trevor again. He sent me a text one time. It's pretty funny. I had all that. I'll just find it. It's worth it. It's a laugh. If you listen to this podcast, you'll get a laugh out of this text.
Yeah, it has had many names, but I mean that's how it goes. Sponsorship comes and goes.
The Toyota Series, formerly FLW as of this year, formerly Costa, formerly Rayovac, formerly Everstart.
Was it really Everstart? Like
It
the
was.
batteries from
Like
Walmart?
the batteries from Walmart. Yes.
Holy crap.
Yes, it was.
That's unfortunate.
But yeah, that ended this week.
St. John's, they
St.
followed
John's
up.
River.
Followed up the Elite Series.
Yes, Trevor Fitzgerald won with a 3-day total of 57 pounds and 12 ounces. So I think it was definitely, the Elites were right. Some fish definitely moved up because a lot better weights than the Elite Series. Not a lot better, but better. Trevor Fitzgerald had 57.12. Jason Blair, 51.12. It fell off pretty fast. 50 pounds, 6 ounces for third. Stephen Hatala. Rodney Marks, 45 and fourth, and Keith Carson, 43.6, fifth place. And shout out to our man Jacopo Galelli, 38 pounds, sixth place.
Yeah,
Our
Capo's
man.
getting it done.
2 top 15s in the 2 first Toyotas.
Italian.
Our guy from
The
Italy.
Italian
Our
getting it
guy.
done. We have 2 Italians, by the way.
We do. We got 2 Italian buddies. Shout out Enrico. And
Shout out
Jacopo.
Enrico, too.
But yeah, I didn't pay a whole lot of attention to the coverage.
I still am surprised by the weights. I think they would be higher.
Yeah.
I saw the results.
A lot of
and I
guys
was
are
like,
saying-
dang, it still hasn't gotten good yet.
The St. John's is in a funk. I mean, I think it's just in between. I don't know. I think it's just being hit
I
at
just
the
think
wrong
Florida.
time.
Well, we'll find out this weekend. The Florida
Yeah.
Bass are just in a funk right now.
Apparently, Okeechobee's doing really well, which is weird because Okeechobee's been off the last few years.
Yeah.
Really off.
But
But
St. John's was on fire last year.
Kissimmee
so,
was
I don't know,
tough.
That's weird.
Kissimmee was really tough in the Open. St. John's is tough in the Elite Series and the Toyota Series. And then we're going to find out. Well, Harris Chain is this week, and early reports are that it's tough.
Yeah.
And yeah, so Florida's been tough.
Now you're going to be paying attention to the Pro Series.
I will be paying attention to the Pro Series. So that is this weekend, Harris Chain, the Tackle Warehouse Pro Series. This is getting really ridiculous. And I will be paying attention. Yes. To answer your question.
Good.
Yes.
Glad.
So
Happy for you.
yeah, the Pro Series is this weekend on the Harris Chain of Lakes. The first one was Rayburn.
Yeah.
Rayburn that John Cox won. And this is the second. So we'll see how the guys do. I'll be paying attention. I think a lot of college guys will be.
Yeah. I'm certainly hoping it gets better. I don't know if the weather just needs to stabilize for a little while and kind of be at the same temperature.
Yeah.
I mean,
know
we've been dealing with it in North Carolina. It's been a roller coaster temperature.
Yes.
It'll be like 70 and then snowing the
Yes.
next day, and you're like, "What in the world?"
Yeah. I think Florida, a lot of the Florida guys have been saying they never got their week of cold to set them up for the pre-spawn.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of all over.
Now the fish are confused. They're like,
Yeah.
"Oh, it's cold. It's warm. It's cold. It's warm."
They've never had their really winter
Yeah.
week. So I don't know. I'm hearing that the grass isn't the way it's supposed to be, which is not what I want to hear. I don't know, but we'll see. We'll get some live coverage. I think there's a cold front hitting on Friday down there.
Ew.
So I think the first 2 days should be interesting, and then the next 2 days should be interesting. It's going to be an interesting tournament once again. Florida roller coaster.
You got any favorites? Is John Cox fishing it again?
John Cox is fishing it again. And I don't know that many other FLW series guys.
Yeah, I John Cox, Aaron Britt.
I just saw that Trevor Fitzgerald is fishing it. He's the guy who just won St. John's, and he's a local on Harris, so I'm sure he's a early favorite.
Aaron Britt. Who else? Oh, Bailey. Bailey. What's his name? I don't know. Bailey B fishing.
Follows him on Instagram.
I know. He follows me, and I follow him. But, yeah. Who fishes the Pro Series anymore?
It's a hodgepodge.
They
either moved somewhere.
Yeah, they either went to the Opens,
Yeah.
or they moved to
Sam
MLF.
George is still fishing it. Daryl Gleason, I think, is fishing
There's still
it.
good payouts. I think,
Yeah.
like if I had the opportunity to fish them, I would still probably fish
Obviously,
them.
yeah, definitely.
A check's a check.
It's the AAA now, so I think
Don't
it's
matter
a
where it
lot
comes
less
from.
desirable.
Oh, it's become the Opens.
And there's no championship. And I heard this the other day. There's no championship for MLF now either. There's no Red Crest anymore.
What?
Yeah, it's gotten more stupid.
What is it now?
Nothing. There's no championship event.
That can't be right.
It's right.
Wasn't there one going to be on St. Lawrence?
Yeah, I don't think there is anymore. Something happened. Because Ike and Ellie was talking about how he doesn't have to worry about qualifying for anything anymore. That he's fishing with less stress than he's ever had.
Maybe just everyone goes and fishes it then.
Maybe.
It's just like a normal MLF.
It's so dumb. It's so dumb.
They gotta get their stuff together.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. They started so strong, and it's like, now they just keep doing mistake after mistake.
I heard that
They've like dropped like hosts and co-hosts that they had last year that I thought were semi-decent that aren't back this year.
the other thing they're doing is they're
switching the tournament schedules
They're
around.
broadcasting from headquarters. They're not going on location anymore.
Yeah.
Too much money.
Yeah.
Hate to see
It's
it.
starting to cost more than they thought it would, huh?
Hate to see it.
But
Who saw that coming?
They might have to have entry fees after all. Who would have guessed it? You can't run a non-profit bass tournament.
That's right. That's right. Boy Duckett's pockets are running thin.
It's tragic.
It is.
The question is if they like fold. This is a theoretical question. If they fold in the Elite Series, are they like,
Yes.
no,
Yes.
no, I don't know.
Except for the Legends exemptions guys, yes. And then does the FLW Tour return? Like what? I don't know.
We'll add another one. What was that other one that started up? That
Oh,
we've
the
completely forgotten about it?
the National Professional Fishing League. I think it starts
There's
in 21.
way too many to follow now. That's just the bottom line.
Yeah, it hasn't. I don't think it starts until 21 though.
It does?
Yeah.
Alright. It was like qualification stuff this year.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
No, I think it's buy-in.
What the heck?
I think it's buy-in with caps.
That's so
It's
confusing.
basically like another triple A. It's really weird. It's like, you know what it is? It's like indie leagues, independent league.
The independent leagues.
Yeah.
Cape Cod League or something
Yeah,
like that.
yeah, it's exactly what it is. It's indie league fishing.
Winter leagues out west, stuff
Yeah,
like that.
yeah. The Arizona Summer League.
Yeah.
Fishing world is a weird one
It's in
right
a weird.
now.
It's in a weird place right now.
Yeah, yeah. But we're all gonna come together.
One day
Bassmaster Classic.
at the Bassmaster Classic. If you aren't there, you should be.
You should be there.
Because we're gonna be there.
That's right.
We keep preaching it.
Yep.
We can't wait
Gonna
to
be
be
a
there.
grand
It's
old
gonna be
time.
fun. I just can't wait, man. It's
Me
gonna
neither.
Be, it's gonna be a good
blast.
time.
gonna be a
We'll
blast.
be at. It's looking like we're gonna be a blast off on the first day.
That's right.
And then we'll be at the expo that day and the next day. We won't be at Blast Off the next day, most likely.
Right.
Weigh-ins and all that stuff.
It'll be grand old time.
We're looking forward to recording some hilarious podcasts.
Yes.
I'm sure we're going to get some...
With whoever wants to be there.
Great content while we're there.
That's right.
And I'm looking forward to it. I'm definitely looking forward to the next couple of weeks. We got a lot going on.
Yeah, we got a lot of fun.
College series is getting busy.
Yeah.
And then soon after the Classic, then we got Hartwell.
Hartwell's coming up. I think 2 weeks after. Yeah.
So
a lot of stuff.
It's gonna be good.
It's getting busy, guys.
It's getting busy.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's all we got for you this week.
Yeah. Hope you enjoyed.
Nice 31-minute episode for you.
Hope you enjoyed two college idiots talking about what it takes to be a good fisherman.
College. One day we're gonna have to talk about what it's like to be a college angler.
Yeah.
Future episode coming to you soon.
That's right.
And yeah, we'll see you next week. I'll have a co-host. Don't know who it's going to be yet.
Won't be me.
Won't be him because he'll be in Florida.
That's right.
Getting his butt kicked by a cold front.
Yeah.
That's most likely going to hit like it does every week right now.
That's right.
Beginning of the week, 70-70. End of the week, 30-30-30.
Yes.
A lot of fun.
Small bass.
And, well, Tight Lines, guys.
Take care. Have a fabulous week.
We'll see you soon. Bye.